Hi, this is Custom Works and I'm Clint Allen, and today is a quick tech talk. We're going to be covering rust removal from your frame. Now, the only way to do this right is to have it sandblasted. Let's just get that out of the way right away. Have it sandblasted and then either put on a etching primer or an epoxy primer, and then follow that up later with a oil-based paint, period. But I know you're not going to take the cab off of your truck, you're not going to take the box off of your truck, and you're not going to cover everything up when you need it for Monday for going to work, or whatever the case may be, time, whatever. I understand that. I'm just clearing that up right up front here. So anyways, to remove the rust from your frame, you only need two things. I've watched video after video after video, and the same reason why I started doing this on YouTube is because I just shake my head. So the two items that you basically need are one of these, chisel. You can get that at Harbor Freight. They're like 25–30 bucks. And then a wire grinder. And note that's the type that I'm talking about right there. The one that's got the twisties. The ones that, you know, when they come flying off, they really stick into you really good. That's the one. But anyway, so I'm not going to bore you with going over this whole frame and minute by minute of how we do it. That's the whole idea of quick tech talk. We just get to the point right away. So you have to chisel off the big chunks of rust. So what we need to do is we need to knock all the scale off, get it down to actual real metal. So now you're actually down to actual metal. So when you put your treatment on there, it's actually going to do something. So let's talk about treatments and stuff. So here are the products that I use and only use. First one here is going to be the muriatic acid. Now this is very dangerous. If you've never worked with acid before, I do not suggest that you use this. You need to have respirator, you need to have eye, and you need to have rubber gloves for acid, and you need to be completely in a suit in order to use this, because you're going to be laying underneath your truck. And you're going to need to spray it on with a spray bottle that is made for acid, and then brush it off, power wash it, and keep on doing it till you get down to metal. This does take some time, but does a beautiful job. But once again, if you are not sure of working with acid, you can get really hurt with using this. Next one right here, after you do what I just previously showed you, this is OSFO. Now, this right here, of course, is going to do the same thing that all the other products do, which is basically turn rust into a paintable surface. This right here works best if you clean the frame and then wet it down. Wet the whole frame down, and while it's still wet, then take a spray bottle and spray this on. And just before it dries, then come back through and put a second coat on, and then just leave it. It will do a much better job penetrating and stopping because the water has pre-treated and allowed the acid to suck itself in to the rust. So this right here is a good option right here, and then after it all sets up. You can just simply go through and paint it with a black oil-based paint. Next one, which I'm sure you've all seen, which is the core seal. And the same concept here again is that you need to get all the heavy rust all off, and then 3 coats of this is usually what it takes, and you do it with a paintbrush. Don't spray it on because it just sits on top of the rust. It'll make the top of the rust look like it turned black and it's ready to go, when in fact it didn't soak in. For some odd strange reason, you need to use a paintbrush and you need to use 3 coats of this. Now, if you don't want to go down the road of doing all this work, that's fine. The next products that we have, and the one that I really highly suggest that you do, and is going to give you the most success, and you're still going to have to go through and chisel off all the big chunks of rust, but that's all the further you really need to go. Just get them big, large chunks of rust off, and then go ahead and spray this on. They do have a sprayer that you can buy, hooks up to any air compressor, and you go ahead and just hose the whole frame down, the whole underside of your truck down. Stay away from spraying it on any type of rubbers and plastics, because over time it'll make it expand. But this right here, if you're looking to preserve your frame and to do it the easiest way, this is the answer right here. Definitely, at a minimum, do this right here to your truck. It will save the frame and save the underside from rusting. Does a fantastic job. Recoat, depending on if you're in the northern area or in the southern area, I mean once a year or every 2 years. But either which way, this is a really good way to go. You can listen to tons of arguments on YouTube of, well, this right here works the best, but oh, there's a different brand that works better. Doesn't make a difference. Choose whatever one you want. Either which way, it's going to preserve the frame. That's the whole concept here. One really doesn't work better than the other. It's just an opinion from one person to another. The whole point is preserve it. That way your truck lasts longer, you can enjoy it longer, because you don't want a situation where the motor outruns the rest of the vehicle because it just rots and falls apart. Now, some very important information. If you ever see this stuff, now I'm not picking on Loctite particularly, but any of the crap that comes in these spray cans, just get rid of them. Don't use them, they're garbage, they're junk. Why? They have to thin down the product so far that spraying it on, it just doesn't do the job that it needs to do. It's just too thinned out. You got to come and play with the big boys in order for this to work. Now let me show you a couple areas on the frame to show you if the product that you're using and which product is actually working, and what you need to redo in case you decide to go any of these routes. So here's some good examples of, is the product working and is the product not working, or have you done the right amount of prep? Now, whether you're going to use Osfo, Core Seal, whatever the case may be, whether you have a different product that you would prefer to use, that's great, don't have an issue. But you can see through here and on the frame, some of it's black and some of it still looks like rust. If you put on your final product, whether it be the Osfo again, the Core Seal, the other products, and it turns black and you still have this red area of rust, this area is still going to continue to rust. All it's going to do is rust underneath. It's going to break through whatever you put on top of it, and it'll continue to work its way into the black areas, and it'll just rust out again. So if you still see the red rust, you need to come back through and either wire brush it or chisel it again. You need to get it to the point where it all turns black. If it is not black, You've just wasted your time and painted over the top of it with whatever you want, and it's just going to continue rusting. It all needs to be black is the point. So, I hope you've learned something today, and you take it easy, and you have a good day. You're still here yet? It's over. Oh, I know. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, and that'll tell you when my next video comes up. Until then, go home.